Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Meal Solutions Monday. This is part of our Flyer to Fork series, and I'll explain what that means in a minute. And today I'm going to walk through an option for the meal deal that we have offered. My name is Joni Rampolla. I am one of the registered licensed dietitians with your Giant and Martin's. And we are here to bring you some inspiration today. So flyer to fork, what we call the flyer is our circular, or some people call it the weekly ad. We call it the flyer, right? Weekly ad to fork just doesn't sound cool. So we're calling it the flyer. And then what we do is we take what's on sale in that circular, the flyer, the weekly ad, whatever it is. Dietitian teams on Mondays find something that's on sale so we can bring a fun recipe that's also affordable to your table. So this week's meal deal is chili, but I decided I am not making chili, want to just think out of the box a little bit and do something different. So I'm making two recipes out of this meal deal. One is a beef enchilada casserole, and the second is dessert to go with it, a skillet blueberry corn cobbler. So I'm actually going to make the beef enchilada casserole and just talk through what the skillet blueberry corn cobbler is. But you will get access to both of those recipes. So how to find that weekly ad or circular or flyer. Some people get it in their mailbox. I wish it was me, but I am not one of them that does. I know it's a very small percentage now. The majority of people find them in our stores. So that is where you walk in any entrance, you'll see the rack of the paper flyers so you can pick it up and go through it, see what's on sale. You can find it from the comfort of your home on our website, or if you have a smartphone and you downloaded the app, in the app. So if I am on the website, if you see the red circle on the left, one of the tabs is the weekly ad. On Thursday only, and I apologize every Thursday since last year, I keep saying, oh, I got a screenshot, an updated date for our weekly ad, but I keep forgetting on Thursday. Thursday is the only day you can see the current week and the next week because our weeks run Friday to Friday. So every Friday, a new ad comes out. So if I'm looking Thursday and going to the store tomorrow on a Friday, want to see what's on sale, I can find it this way. So then only on Thursday would I see two. Otherwise, you just see the current weekly ad and you can view that ad. So then this is what it looks like when I get to the weekly ad. And if you see, I could do grid view or print view. And I chose print view because it looks exactly like the paper copy that you find in the store. So prices or product availability may vary per store or shopping method, but basically you could scroll down and see what's on sale in your store. Whoops. Oh, there you go. That's what it was, print view. And then this is just a screenshot of my cell phone. So if you see at the bottom, I'm on the home tab of my app from my cell phone. If I scroll down just a little bit, you'll see the weekly ad there. Also, if I go to the Save tab on the bottom, that's all about the weekly ad. So you could find it there. So there are many places you could find this information of what's on sale this week at your local Giant or Martin's. And I do want to point out this week, there is a 5-point freebie. Sometimes there's not one every week. They just come every so often, but it's Pepsi Probiotic Cola. If somebody wants to try that, they could just use 5 of their choice points and get a free product. All right, so this week's meal deal is what I'm calling chili, right? That's what it looks like. So when you buy ground beef, so the 85%, and it is a family pack, so it's like 3.5 pounds-ish. So you buy the big thing of ground meat, you get for free your diced tomatoes, your beans, your packet of chili sauce, and your corn muffin mix. What a great deal, right? So you think that makes chili, but we're going to do it a little bit different. So when I see what the meal deal is, what I typically do, or if I see something's on sale like salmon or chicken breast, I go to our savory recipe site. So that's on our website also. You could link to recipes and get savory there. And then I searched chili just to see if I could find a chili recipe that might be good for me to use an actual recipe. There are 428 different ones. So whatever you search, there are a ton of recipes here. You can certainly find one that you like. So to me, that's a great way to see what's on sale, then go to Savory and find a recipe for how to make it. So this is my meal deal. I bought the ground beef. I got for free. These are the products that I chose. Low sodium black beans. If you wanted kidney beans or another bean, there are other beans that you can get. The chili packet, the Jiffy corn muffin, and I chose the petite diced tomatoes. So then I also added things to this meal because I decided instead of chili, I'm going to make the beef enchilada casserole. So for that, I also bought the Sargento cheese was on sale. The tomatoes, cherubs are on sale. Chobani has a great sale this week. If you eat yogurt, stock up. With my yogurt, what I'm going to do is add a little of um, either taco seasoning or the chili seasoning, whatever if you don't have chili seasoning left over, add it to the Greek yogurt. And it's really good to top your beef enchilada casserole with a little dollop of yogurt, plain, that is almost like sour cream. Flour is on sale, and this only uses a tablespoon of flour, but just pointing it out. And what I also added that wasn't necessarily on sale, but the yellow corn tortillas. All right, so then if I'm making the enchilada mix, I didn't use the corn muffin mix. And I was like, what do I do with that? So if you're making chili, some people love to put the chili, it's hot already, it's already cooked. You put it in a casserole, mix up the corn muffin mix, put it on top, and then bake that off. Or you can make corn muffins. I love corn muffins that have little small diced jalapenos in them. I think that's a really fun way to do it. There's a savory recipe that's for savory corn pudding. It's not a dessert, even though it has the word pudding, but it has a can of creamed corn and frozen corn and makes a nice little side dish. Or I am making dessert. So my dessert is a skillet blueberry corn cobbler. And this is what the cobbler is. So you're not going to see that demonstrated today. I'm just kind of talking it through. It uses 4 cups of blueberries, a lime, that corn muffin mix, some fresh corn, but it's not in season. So I use frozen corn here. I did the 1.5 cups of frozen corn, an egg, and some milk. And then these are the directions. Again, it bakes for like 45, 55 minutes. I didn't do that today, but I wanted to leave you with the recipe in case this is something that you want to try too. So this is what I actually we're making today, the beef enchilada casserole. It does earn 3 guiding stars, which is amazing. So what is a guiding star? Guiding stars is kind of our nutrition navigation system, help you find the good stuff, either through recipe or a food item that you put in your cart. So 1 star is good, 2 stars is better, 3 stars is best. And they earn stars by having more vitamins, minerals, fiber, whole grains, omega-3 fatty acids, the things that your body wants, and less saturated fat, trans fat, added sodium, added sugar, or all those other additives to limit like coloring. So that is our guiding star system. And on our savory recipe site, our recipes are also rated so you can find better for you recipes. Guiding stars is also a filter on that site. So this is our recipe. Ingredients: tomato sauce, chili powder, flour, paprika, cumin. So here, just want to say, to make the enchilada sauce, you add 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of cumin, and 2 tablespoons of chili powder. I'm not adding those. Instead, I'm adding my free packet of chili seasoning. So you'll see me do that. It's the ground beef. I bought a frozen chopped onions and peppers, some black beans, frozen corn, and the corn tortillas, and we're going to top it all with shredded cheese. So these are my directions, and we're going to go through them step by step as I assemble this. So I'm not going to read them all now, but let's start creating. So I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. Whoops. Go back, not what I wanted. That was hit the stop share. There we go. All right. So first, we're making our enchilada sauce. So I have tomato sauce and I put it in a container. This is my container with tomato sauce. I added half a cup of water and the 1 tablespoon of flour. And then you're supposed to add all those separate ingredients, but I am going to add my chili sauce packet here. So that's going to make it easy. Use what I already bought that came with the meal deal. Here we go. I'm going to put in my seasoning. I have a little mini whisk. We are just going to whisk it up. And then once this is whisked and all combined, I'm going to stick it in my microwave behind me. And this just heats up for about 2 or 3 minutes. There you go. Hopefully you can see a little bit of that. That's all that's in there. So then I'm going to pop that in to heat it up. Top it. All right, so while that's heating, next instruction, that's our enchilada sauce. Our next instruction is to grate the zucchini. So I have 1 large zucchini. I already grated it, and you don't want it too watery. So after I grated it, I put a paper towel on it, pushed down, and drained out some of the water. So let me show you my skillet here. I'm going to put this down for a minute. I have a skillet where I already ground my beef because that takes too long to get going. I put in, so this is what I found at my store. They were out of our brand, so I bought peppers and onion frozen. I put those in. I'm going to add my zucchini. Turn my heat up a little bit. And then I'm also going to add a package of corn. So this is a lot of food in here. So the corn is supposed to be thawed. So I just bought the corn. I didn't thaw it. So I put it, this is not a microwavable bag. So I put it in a container, just heated it up a little bit so it's kind of thawed. And then I'm going to add that as well. And we're just going to stir this around, get it heated up for a little bit. So this is my beef, my frozen defrosted peppers and onions, my corn, and my zucchini. So I think why it earns 3 guiding stars is it has so many vegetables in it as well as the beef. So you're getting a lot of good nutrition and fiber along with delicious flavor. Stir that up. And then I will get my enchilada sauce that should be heated. And we add half a cup of the sauce to this now. And the rest gets saved for a little bit later when we start layering our dish. So my meat here was already cooked. So I'm really just warming up the corn and the zucchini with it. But it has a lot of nice, pretty color. I like that about it too. Gonna get my sauce. So with the enchilada sauce, I'm gonna add about half a cup, except I'm not actually going to measure. I'm just gonna put a little bit in here. All right. Let that get nice and heated up. So if you start with the raw beef, that takes about 9 minutes. So I didn't think I had time for that. So this, once we add the corn and the zucchini, it says cook for 3 minutes. So I'm hoping that this is nice and done. And while this cooks, I'm going to just slide it over a little bit and show you the dish that we're going to put it in. Oh, you know what? That beef, peppers, onion, zucchini, the beans. I forgot the beans. Aha. And then a can, I bought the low sodium version and I already drained and rinsed them. So I can just add them. Before I move it away, let's get our beans in there. It's an enchilada. Gotta have the beans. All right. Now I'm going to just push this aside. It's still cooking. I'm just going to move it a little bit. And bring here, this is the pan that we're going to put it in. So I'm going to layer first a little sauce on the bottom. And it says, I don't know, like a third of the sauce or something. You're supposed to do this 3 times. So this pan has a little bit of oil sprayed on the bottom first. So I've got a little oil in there, and then I'm just spreading some sauce on the bottom so it's not dry. All right, that looks like about half a cup of sauce. And then I'm going to take my tortillas. So I have my yellow corn tortillas. And it says for this recipe, you use 12 tortillas, which is like 4 on each layer. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and you don't have to do this. But what I did last time is I took the tortilla and I just took my pair of kitchen shears and I cut one in half and just put it in those empty spots. That's kind of how I did it. I don't know how you get 4 on that level and make it perfect. But then when you do that, you top that with some beef. So while my beef is cooking, I'm just going to spread a little bit on here. And you could see all those nice vibrant colors. And again, I chose black beans, but you could use any kind of bean that you like. And it's just kind of a thin layer. And that looks good. And then you do the same thing. You repeat that 2 more times. So then we're going to start with our sauce again. Put down a little bit of sauce. Evenly, and it's great that way. And I'm going to put the tortillas on and try and hit maybe those areas that I didn't hit as well last time. 1, 2, 3. You know what? This time I might just do 4 straight up. There you go. 4. And then we'll do some beef again. You see all the great colors and flavors. That's one of the reasons I love this dish. And it does say to taste the sauce and see if it needs extra salt or pepper. You make it your own when you do it. But that is the next layer. I'm going to get some of this off my zucchini sticking there, get some of that off. And then we do it all over again, spreading it out best I can. And it all cooks up nice that it doesn't really matter if it's totally even or not. It always works out. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to save just the tiniest drizzle for the top, even though that's not in the directions. That's just kind of how I like to do it. And then I'll get my tortillas again. And again, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Then this is my final layer. So I'm just going to put my skillet here. Move that around nicely. Cover that tortilla. All right. Then I have cheese. Then you top it with cheese. I have a little bit of sauce I like to save for the top. Just a little bit, but I think it's nice. Get a little flavor on top too. It's not what the recipe says to do, but I saved just a little bit. When you cook with me, you notice I make everything my own. I never really follow a recipe exactly, just kind of close enough to get it good. And that's all that matters. And then I'm going to just shake some cheese on there. Oops. And then this pops in the oven. So I am going to put it in the oven. Let's see. I'm going to put it in and TV magic, it comes out cooked. And then when it's cooked, you put on some fresh tomatoes. I did not buy fresh cilantro, but that is something that would be great on top of here. Um, and the tomatoes are the ones that are on sale this week. I love the top little lid, so you don't have to worry about trying to get it open here. Just pulls up. And then I do have some cilantro. You can just shake on. Fresh would be so much prettier. But that is your casserole. So that is one. This is dinner. Then I want to show you dessert. And then this is the blueberry corn skillet for dessert. And I will say, this is amazing. And the topping is this box that you get with the meal deal. It is so good. 4 cups of strawberries in there. I mean, strawberries. Oh my God, blueberries in there. It's delicious. So I'm going to share my screen one more time, and then after that, I will answer your questions. So hang tight. Let me just share one more time. All right. So if you want to stay connected to our team, tomorrow we have Fresh Finds featuring Snow Day. How appropriate with Shayna. Wednesday, Living Well, Ask a Dietitian with Jenna. Thursday is Coffee Chat with both Shayna and Charlotte. And then Friday, no class until next Monday. So that's what's coming up. We love that you're here and stay connected with our team. Thank you so much and take care. I'm going to stop the recording soon. If you want to stay on, I will answer your questions in the Q&A. Thank you so much. Everybody have a great rest of your day. All right. Thank